Hello and welcome to Pisgah Health Today. My name is Angela Owen and it's my privilege to host this program brought to you by the Pisgah Health Foundation. The Pisgah Health Foundation is a public 501c3 charity founded in 2019 by a board of 7 caring individuals committed to improving the health, wellness, and lives of Western North Carolina residents. Our special guest today is Deric Milligan. He is the co-founder and CEO of Inheritance of Hope. Welcome to our program today, Deric.
Thank you.
Deric graduated with a bachelor's degree and master's degree in music performance from Northwestern University and the University of Michigan, respectively. He enjoyed a professional career as a band director and then as a professional trumpeter as a member of the West Point Band. Thank you for your service, Deric. Deric's life was drastically changed in 2003 when his wife, Kristen, was diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer. Apart from his time-consuming role as caregiver, he felt led to alter his professional aspirations. Deric and Kristen founded Inheritance of Hope in 2007, and after completing an MBA with distinction from New York University's Stern School of Business, Deric became the CEO of Inheritance of Hope. His passion is for serving and supporting families like his, families living with a parent battling a life-threatening illness. In 2015, Deric was named an Ellis Island Medal of Honor recipient. I want to read a little bit about Deric's beloved wife. Kristen was an inspirational speaker who shared her testimony in numerous U.S. states and abroad. She was the author of 3 books, including 2 for children and 1 for adults. Kristen held degrees from Davidson College and Florida State University. She died in October 26 of 2012 after a 10-year battle with liver cancer, but her legacy continues through Inheritance of Hope. And Deric now lives with his wife, Matria, and 3 children in North Carolina. And we are so excited to have you here to learn more about what you are doing through this amazing organization. What a story for getting something started. Would love for you just to tell our viewers, what is Inheritance of Hope?
Yeah, well, thank you for that introduction. Inheritance of Hope is a ministry. Our mission is to inspire hope in young families who are facing the loss of a parent. As you mentioned, this started from our personal experience. When Kristen was initially diagnosed, our children were 4, 2, and 7 months old. And my initial instinct was, well, let's find an organization out there who can help families like ours, and particularly at that point, help our children navigate this difficult circumstance. And I was shocked to learn that there wasn't an organization for families like ours. And so over time, took a little while. We had some friends encouraging us. When I went back to business school, we wrote the business plan for Inheritance of Hope, and that led us ultimately to start and to go to the point now where we've served over 700 families at our legacy retreats. That's been our signature event. And we host these events for multiple families to come together in places like Orlando, New York City. We've had a retreat at Biltmore, Los Angeles. And so it's been a real blessing to me and my family over the years since we started Inheritance of Hope.
It's an incredible testimony of taking a really horrible situation in life. And you're saying, oh, we're going to do something about this, and setting up, like launching out to create something to meet the needs of families in this time when your family was walking through it. That is a huge testimony. Thank you so very much for what you're doing for all of these families. It's incredible. Have you been able to continue with these retreats even through the course of how all of our worlds have changed a bit, or have you had to change over to some other approach in supporting these families?
Yeah, definitely. So we had in 2020, we had a couple of events in person before the world changed. And then we were forced, like everyone else, to pivot. And really, that's where Pisgah Health Foundation ties in for us, because the foundation that was laid through that grant had already been setting us up for telehealth. And so we had already been investing in some resources and technology to facilitate those kinds of meetings. And so we had a real head start when COVID hit, and we were able to really pivot successfully. In fact, we would consider 2020 to be our best year. And without question, we served more families, more individuals in 2020 than any year previous by a long shot, by a many-fold increase there. So yeah, our in-person events we had to modify, and those went online. via Zoom. And we continue to host those events. We had one in April, we had one in August. We also have now launched an app called Hope at Home, where we have community groups ongoing for the whole family, for children who are going through it currently, teens, life after loss for those who've lost a parent already. We've got a family game night coming up later this month, which is a lot of fun. We had a reunion in November for all the families. We invited all the families that we've ever served. We had more than 450 households around the country join us for that 3-day event. And so lots of things. We've started also an online memorial gathering to recognize and honor the legacies of those in our IOH family who we've lost. So, and then finally, we've launched legacy videos as something that we've always offered to the families we serve at our retreats. These are opportunities for parents to speak directly to their children, really about whatever's important to them, fond memories, particular gifts that they see in their children, whatever they want to share, whatever's important to them. And now we've opened that up through our Hope at Home app to anyone and everyone, not just even families who are our primary mission. And that's because we see that legacy is really relevant for everyone. That it's particularly urgent for the families who are facing a terminal illness because the time could be short. But what we've learned over time is that all of our time really is short, and we should all be very intentional about our legacies. So we're excited to be able to expand these offerings to anyone and everyone. And we are grateful that Pisgah Health has set us up for success in that way.
It's really powerful to think about in a time when I think many places and people would have felt so isolated, that legacy that you're through your inheritance of hope, your legacy of hope, that you're able to really reach out there and build community and build relationships. And as you said, have your best year ever because you expanded that reach. Suddenly people aren't having to travel. You're just getting
Right.
onto the Zoom screen and really do that. That is really fantastic. Well done and congratulations on taking what could have been a traumatic year and an even more traumatic, life situation for so many and really turning it into something incredibly positive. That's amazing.
Thank you. Well, we have a great team. They really stepped up to the challenge, embraced it, and it's been really exciting to see, as you point out, that even for families who can't travel, we've had a big increase in patients with ALS who would have a really hard time traveling, being able to participate in our events. Some families who were on hospice and would not have been able to travel have been able to participate and experience that community. And what we've seen is that there's always this hunger for community and belonging. But I think over this past year, I think we've seen that we all are longing for that, and so there's been a real hunger. And so we've been very pleased that there hasn't been a loss of connection through the fact that we've been doing this online, and really quite the contrary. Another thing I would say along those lines is that IOH families are dealing with uncertainties about how long they're going to live, health concerns and uncertainties in their financial situation with all the healthcare costs and perhaps loss of jobs, and uncertainty around travel, whether are they going to feel up to it. So in many respects, we feel like the rest of the world is kind of, in that sense, experiencing what Inheritance of Hope families already know. And I think that's been another thing that's kind of helped us uniquely as an organization through this time, is that we're already dealing in the uncertainties that much of the world now understands better, unfortunately.
It's built some connections and some context for some who perhaps had not walked it in a similar manner to those IOH families. Well, Deric, what else would be important for our viewers to know? How can they find you? How can they come alongside, get involved, support the work that you and others are doing through IOH?
Yeah, definitely. So our website is inheritanceofhope.org. And I would encourage anyone and everyone to check us out there. I mentioned earlier the Hope at Home app. That's also available to anyone. We think that legacy is relevant. If you have an interest in recording a legacy video for your children or your grandchildren, we would love to help walk you through that process. And so download that app, either for Apple or Android. The website, lots of ways you can connect with Inheritance of Hope. Perhaps you know a family who's going through this challenge. We would love for you to refer them to us so that we could come alongside and serve them. If you have an interest in supporting us financially, obviously we would put that money to good use to serve these families. Or if you want to join one of our Hope at Home groups, in addition to the legacy video, you can just come in and take part of one of our community groups that are ongoing around grief, around, really we're all about relationship, resources and relationships. And so that's what you'll find on the Hope at Home app.
Well, on behalf of the Board of Directors of Pisgah Health Foundation, I want to say thank you to you, Deric, and to the entire team of people at Inheritance of Hope who are doing so much to serve families in such a critical time of need. Thank you for taking a really tragic situation in your own family's life and turning it into something really powerful. Thank you so very much for being here today and sharing just a little bit of your story as well with us and our viewers. It's been a pleasure and a joy just learning about all of the amazing things that you and the team are doing. Well done.
Thanks so much. And again, our sincere gratitude to the Pisgah Health Foundation for helping make it all possible.
We also want to thank Wildflower Media for their creative and technical support in bringing these shows to you, our viewers, and to say thank you to the Board of Directors and the staff at Pisgah Health Foundation and the Physicians Roundtable. If you would like to hear more and share in more stories like you just heard today from Deric, let me encourage you, go to pisgahhealthinsider.org and join the movement. Until we see you on the next Pisgah Health Today, stay well and be well.